Griffith Observatory is an icon of Los Angeles, a national leader in public astronomy, a beloved civic gathering place, and one of Southern California's most popular attractions.
So we're taking a 1 mile hike up the Griffith Observatory. Since all the parking close to it, it's full. I guess everyone who lives around the area or the tourists like to visit. There's something special about this place. So we're gonna go and check it out. What do they have over there? Okay.
Upon completion, the observatory was given to the city of Los Angeles with the provision that it be operated for the public with no admission charge. Since opening, the observatory has welcomed over 81 million visitors. The park. The site of Griffith Observatory was once a part of the Spanish settlement known as Rancho Los Feliz. The Spanish governor of California bequeathed it to Corporal Vicente Feliz in the 1770s. The land stayed in the family for over a century, until Griffith, a wealthy mining speculator, purchased what remained of the rancho in 1882. Griffith J. Griffith was born in Wales in 1850 and came to America as a teenager. He worked as a journalist and mining advisor before making his fortune in Mexican silver mines and subsequently Southern California real estate. He moved to Los Angeles after purchasing the rancho and spent the rest of his life there. Griffith enjoyed being called Colonel Griffith, though it seems he was never officially commissioned as an officer, nor it is clear that he even served in the military. During a tour abroad, Griffith had discovered the great public parks of Europe and decided that Los Angeles will need a great park for the public in order to become a great city. On December 16, 1896, he donated 3,015 acres of Rancho Los Feliz to the city of Los Angeles in order to create a public park in his name. Griffith Park became the largest urban park in the United States with wilderness areas. Also, he was introduced to astronomy through the astronomical section of the Southern California Academy of Sciences. He was impressed by his visits to the new research observatory established at Mount Wilson in 1904. He believed that an individual gained an enlightened perspective when looking at the skies. His experience focused his desire to make science more accessible to the public. On December 12, 1912, he offered the city of Los Angeles $100,000 for an observatory to be built on top of Mount Hollywood to be fully owned and operated by the city. In 1916, with his failing health, Griffith realized that his vision of a public observatory will not be realized in his lifetime. He drafted a will containing bequests for a public observatory and Greek theater, along with detailed specifications regarding the nature of the observatory, its location, and programmatic offerings. Griffith died on July 6, 1919.
So we finally reached Griffith Observatory, and there's a lot of people. So we'll see what we can find in this place.
A dream realized. Griffith's dream finally began to become a reality in the spring of 1930 as the Griffith Trust enlisted some of the leading astronomers and scientists of the day as the core team planning the construction of the Griffith Observatory. George Ellery Hale, who had overseen the creation of the great telescopes of Yerkes, Mount Wilson, used his knowledge to steer the overall design. Caltech physicist Edward Kurt drew up the preliminary plans and later guided the construction of the building. In May of 1931, architects John C. Austin and Frederick M. Ashley were selected to oversee the final plans for the new observatory building. Caltech and Mount Wilson engineers drew up plans for the observatory's fundamental exhibits. A Foucault pendulum, a 38-foot diameter model of a section of the moon sculpted by artist Roger Hayward, and a 3-in-1 coelostat so that the public could study the sun in the Hall of Science. The Trust judged the 12-inch size refracting telescope as the best commercially available instrument of its kind and selected it to be used as the public telescope. A 75-foot wide theater, one of the largest in the world, was designed to hold the size planetarium projector. The planetarium had been invented in 1923, 4 years after Griffith's death, so it was replaced by the original planned cinematic theater. The observatory's planetarium was the third to be completed in the United States. Groundbreaking for Griffith Observatory occurred on June 20, 1933, with the William Simpson Construction Company as the builder. While the building quickly took shape, Edward Kurt was tragically killed in a car accident in February 1934. The Griffith Trust brought in physicist Rudolf Langer to oversee the completion of the building, and Philip Fox, director of the Adler Planetarium in Chicago, whose advice had been sought in the earliest phases of planning, was now increasingly involved with designing exhibits for the Hall of Science. Griffith Observatory was shaped not only by the minds of scientists, but also by the times in which it was built. A major earthquake in Long Beach in March 1933, just as construction plans were being finalized, led the architects to abandon the planned terracotta exterior in favor of strengthening and thickening the building's concrete walls. The building combines Greek and Bussard influences, and the exterior is embellished with the Greek key pattern. Lower than usual prices caused by the Great Depression enabled the selection of the finest materials of the day for the interior walls, floors, and finishes, making the building both beautiful and durable. And a Depression-era Federal Public Works program employed 6 sculptors to create the public sculpture for the observatory. The resulting astronomers' monument, dedicated in November 1934, was hailed as one of the most important pieces of art to be completed by the program. The dedication and formal opening of the Griffith Observatory took place amid much fanfare on May 14, 1935. On that day, the Griffith Trust transferred ownership of the building to the City of Los Angeles. The city's Department of Recreation and Parks has operated the facility ever since. In its first 5 days of operation, the observatory logged more than 13,000 visitors. During World War II, the planetarium was used to train pilots in celestial navigation, and again used for this purpose in the 60s to train Apollo program astronauts for the first lunar missions. The building operated continuously from 1935 until January 6, 2002, when it closed for a comprehensive renovation and expansion. The $93 million renovation, paid largely by a public bond issue, restored the building as well as replaced the aging planetarium dome. The building was expanded underground with completely new exhibits, a cafe, gift shop, and a new Leonard Nimoy Event Horizon Theater. It reopened to the public on November 3, 2006, retaining its Art Deco exterior. Exhibits: the W.M. Keck Foundation Central Rotunda features several Hugo Bailey murals on the ceiling and upper walls restored since 1934. The first exhibit visitors encountered in 1935 was the Foucault pendulum, which was designed to demonstrate the rotation of the Earth. There is also a small exhibit dedicated to Griffith J. Griffith, the founder of Griffith Park and Observatory. The wilder Hall of the Eye, located in the east wing of the main level, focuses on astronomical tools like telescopes and how they evolve over time so people can see further into space. On display here is the Tesla coil, one of a pair which were built in 1910 by Earl Ovington. When he died in 1936, he gave the matching Tesla coils to his old colleague Frederick Finch Strong, who in 1937 donated them to Griffith Observatory. The A. Manson Hall of the Sky, located in the West Wing, focuses on objects that are normally found in the sky, like the sun and the moon. The main centerpiece of this section is a large solar telescope projecting images of the sun, using a series of mirrors called celostats. The Cosmic Connection is a 150 feet long hallway that depicts the history of the universe. The Gunter Depths of Space Hall is the lower level of the observatory, dominated by the big picture and scale model of the solar system. One wall inside the building is covered with the largest astronomically accurate image ever constructed, called the Big Picture, depicting the Virgo cluster of galaxies. There is also a bronze statue of Albert Einstein sitting on a bench in the depths of space. There is a cafe which overlooks the great hills of Hollywood and the Stellar Emporium gift shops, where you can buy a variety of souvenirs from mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and books about the observatory and about the solar system. Several movies were filmed here in the observatory, such as the following: Gangster Squad, The Terminator, Transformers,
Please, let this work.
Like to live it up?
Yes, Man,
If that doesn't jive with you, we should end this right now.
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, The Rocketeer, and most recently, La La Land. But I guess the most popular one is The Rebel Without a Cause, because they even made a memorial dedicated to its actor, James Dean.
So what do you think of the observatory, Long? It's not worth the hike. Are we gonna go hike to the Hollywood sign, Long?
No. Okay.
Yeah? Only 3 miles. So Long wants to go hiking up there in the Hollywood sign. And I said, let me think about it. Hey Irvin, what are we doing? So guys, this is it. We finished our little tour and hike to the observatory. The crowded Griffith Observatory. Now let's go to our next destination.
So guys, if you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and feel free to comment.
Hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell. Come on guys, hit the bell. For notifications. And don't forget to share.
And like!